Okay. Number 1, Kelly Moran, and you can follow her on Instagram at QTKelmo. Can you predict how the internet may evolve over the next 20 years? So again, in our episode, we talked about AIM, the internet, and just like growing up with it, and then where it's kind of headed. So this is a very natural, very good question. So the internet, we're entering, and I kind of previewed this during one of our episodes called Lifestyle Design, Dating, and Web3. So there's this term called Web3. We're entering kind of this like third phase of the internet. And the first phase was commerce. Second was like social. And the third one's going to be like augmented and like communities in these digital spaces. So that's kind of where we're headed. And talking to software engineers, we've had software engineers on this podcast from Boise, Idaho, Lagos, Nigeria, Nairobi, Kenya, Bogota, Colombia. I recorded one actually. Fun fact, I recorded with somebody in Columbus, Ohio too, but I accidentally messed up the recording. I deleted it by accident. Again, this whole podcast, I've just been learning what not to do through certain failures. We should have Logan Koshenka is his name. We should have him back on. We had a great conversation. But talking to software engineers, developers, people in tech, basically the internet, we're just building layers and layers and layers and layers and layers onto the internet. And the future is software. And I think it's really interesting seeing what they're doing in like Lagos, Nigeria. They're just training the youth how to code because that's where the future is. And something I'm curious about, I don't know if I've talked about it on this podcast, but like when I ride the Red Line, it's the public transportation here in Chicago, I see ads for all these like for-profit universities for degrees in like business management or administration or like criminal justice, and they're promoting getting an education in degrees that are in low demand and don't pay well. Why aren't we, like, especially in low-income areas in America, why aren't we teaching people how to code? Because those skills are in very high demand and they pay very well. So where is the disconnect? That's something I'm curious about. But the internet, I was thinking about this last night. I've been learning and studying physics quite a bit, and everything in the universe is made up of atoms. It's all just a matter of how they're assembled that make them what they are. And through like kind of this own journey I've been on of like self-improvement and discovery, I've come to this realization that every single day over the last, say, 4 years, I've been assembling the atoms of my body to be exactly how I imagine them to be. And now I'm that person, and my life is basically designed that way, where everything around me with my mind is how I designed it. And I was thinking too, like biologically, if something is biological, it will end. But something that's not biological, it doesn't necessarily have an expiration date. So I was thinking, in the future, will we live on as files? So all these files of photos of us or audio recordings of us, videos of us, those become us. And we're going to have like this digital representation of ourselves online, like forever, as long as the internet's around, right? And then so you can kind of see how this plays out with like brands, and now like everybody's a brand and you're marketing yourself. And I had this conversation, I think this episode is going to drop after this, but with Bone Lane, and we were talking about if you're an independent artist, you also have to be a fantastic digital marketing specialist. And that's the internet, it's really interesting. It's flattening the world. So like the internet right now, it's flattening the world in a way where anybody can talk to anybody and all the information is there, right? So, and it's all available. So for example, like I have a business partner in rural India, and we work well together. We work for each other for free. She does things for me, I do things for her, and we just help each other because we know like long term, and we have this like kind of shared vision of life and stuff. But we're not even talking in a city or a large city in India. We're talking rural India. And the internet allows people to connect, and it allows people that are self-motivated and have the ability to learn skills, then to market those skills and provide value to the world and participate in a global economy. That's a beautiful thing. It's not talked about enough when we're discussing the internet. People always look at all this negativity with the internet. I think I tweeted, I'm trying to get more active on like Twitter, like social media and stuff. That's a whole separate conversation. But, something I mentioned was, if the internet stresses you out, you're probably using it wrong. Like the internet or this participation with the screens and all this, everything is designed to grab your attention and then monetize your attention. That's what this is all about. It's the attention economy. So you can hack biological creatures, human beings, by learning about the psychology of human animals, right? And just prey on, not prey, but yeah, kind of like you can pinpoint things that will trigger people in a way and get people engaged or have their attention. It takes, and this is why, when I talk about the things I'm doing and what I'm sharing and teaching others, it's like having this ability, this overriding system, this like hierarchy of like values and principles and philosophies that you live every single day. You impose that then onto your environment. And so you should use the internet just as a tool, and these phones, like I'm using iPhones right now, as simply just a tool to accomplish your dreams and your goals, and that should free up time and energy for you in your own lives. That's the name of the game, the 21st century, time and freedom. I put on a workshop last Saturday at this leadership conference that I always give a workshop to like every single year. It's called Wills. I went to when I was a sophomore in high school. And so I was talking with a bunch of 16-year-olds, and I'm describing these things. Like, the internet allows those who realize their human potential and merges it with technology to live whatever life they want. Like the dreams, the only limitations are what you put on yourself. So it's just kind of going away from the question, but the internet's just going to evolve more and more and more. There's no slowing it. So it's like, it's important to build a model in your head of like how you're going to go about interacting and engaging with it. But kind of on the horizon, augmented reality, virtual reality, those are two separate things. Virtual reality is basically going into like putting something on and then going somewhere else. Augmented reality is like, it's already kind of in play, say with QR codes, like when you scan it, it's like things are coming up in real time and stuff. So you're like implementing this like internet within a physical world. So that's augmented reality.